Taurus, it's Gregory Scott here. Don't go away because this month is important for you. Your ruler Venus is doing loads this month, and if you don't watch these, usually it's important that you watch it this month, okay? Because I've got good news for you. So the first thing I want to do is look at the 30th of September because two things occur which are going to influence you for quite a large chunk of October. The first thing that happens is that Pluto starts to square the Sun on the 30th of September, and it stays in that relationship until the 12th of October. So pretty much half the month is under the influence of this energy. So the Sun is your ego and your identity and what it is you're doing on planet Earth. Pluto is death and rebirth. It was Hades in mythology, so it's like the phoenix rising from the ashes, okay? So your identity is in Libra in the 6th house. You're building good relationships in your working life. But Pluto is sitting in your sector of education and adventure and travel and building yourself. And it's kind of saying, hang on a minute, don't worry so much about other people and other people's feelings in your everyday life. Look beyond that. What is it that you really want to be doing, and do you want to change direction? Because right now, you're focused on people and you should be really focusing on your own skills and ideas. So that's going to be a big thing until the 12th of October. And at the same time, Pluto starts to square Uranus, and that square, it stays in place a long time, from the 30th of September until the 13th of May 2016. So that's like 9 months, okay? And Uranus is the rebel, and it's in Aries, the sign of let's go, let's do it. That's in your 12th house. And that's like, I'm on a spiritual journey here. I want to understand things. So, it connects with your Pluto there, with your identity, and it completely takes you away from the daily routine of your work and what you're doing every day. And it starts to say, hey, what do you believe? What countries haven't you gone to? What could you really do for yourself? How could you explore places? How could you become more of an adventurer? So your focus is going to be from the right here, right now, I need to do some work to earn some money and pay the bills, to I don't want to be responsible, I want to explore and I want to find God and I want to experience different flavors of foods and cultures. And just be aware of that and allow yourself to learn something. If you can't go to India, unless you're already there, and find your guru and the latest spice that you want to add to your food, whatever, then allow yourself to educate yourself, to learn new skills, to read about something that you're interested in. It's going to be a need and a desire to expand. Now, on the 1st of October, there's a lot of Earth in your chart, which means it's very practical. Mars, Jupiter, and the midheaven all sit in your 5th house of romance and relationship and children and having fun. The month really starts with you focusing on that, working on relationships, working on having someone in your life to have fun with. We all do that all the time, we all want people who we can spend time with, who we can do things with. But you're really driven to find that in your life, to have a kind of a partner. And even if you're in a romantic relationship already, to get that to a place where you can connect and where you can be together, that's going to be really important to you. And if your partner, your romantic partner, your lover, whatever, if they're not there for you, you're really going to feel that as a gap. And you're going to say, well, I'm with this person, but I don't get anything from it. We can't spend time together. We can't tell each other jokes. We can't sleep together. What the hell is the point of this? So you're going to be quite focused on yourself, what you're getting from a connection with another person. Ask those questions. Because a lot of people in our lives are there because we choose for them to be there, but we don't really keep that in the forefront of our mind. If you've been in a relationship for a long time, you're not going to say, okay, well, what's he done for me today? Does he get to stay? Because living under that kind of pressure would be difficult. But sometimes it's good to reevaluate and to see if it's worthwhile, worth your time. On the 3rd of October, Chiron starts to square the moon, and Chiron is a part of the chart that often is quite difficult and that you need to transform. And the moon is in your 2nd house in Gemini, and that is what nurtures you and what makes you feel good, okay? So one of your hopes and dreams that has been squished and trampled on becomes reinvigorated and comes back to life through some news that you get, especially in your finances, especially in some sort of legal settlement, in some sort of information that you get that gives you hope that you can get what you want. So look out for that. That's a really good day for you. On the 4th, the moon starts to square the Sun, Mercury, and the North Node, which are all sitting in your 6th house. And again, this is something where at the beginning of the month you were very focused on your relationships, okay? Then you had certain ideas about doing things for yourself. And on the 4th, you're going to be a little bit blabbermouthy, if that's a word. You know, some days you just feel very like things just trip out of your mouth, like my feelings are this, and no one is even interested. You're sitting, you're sitting in a business meeting, and you're like, well, I didn't do the report because when I was 5 years old, I dropped an ice cream and that made me feel bad. And there's a tendency to overshare on the 4th, so watch out for that, because it's not going to build positive relationships. People are just going to be like, well, was that really appropriate? And yeah, that's it. Just watch out for that on the 4th. On the 5th, there is a T-square, which is an area of motivation and friction, and that's between Pluto opposing the Moon, and then culminating with Uranus in your 12th house in Aries. That emotionality, that tendency to overshare, is kind of met, hits a wall with your desire to educate yourself, and the way forward is to take charge of this situation and to say, do I want to experience the feelings that I've got now, or do I want to look at the future and work really hard to experience something in future? So you've got a choice. Am I going to look at the details of my life as it is, or am I going to work to improve it for the future? And my suggestion would be that on these 2 days, the 4th and 5th, not every feeling that you have is the be-all and end-all, and it's the most important thing that you've ever gone through. You're going to continue to live for a while, and you don't need to take that much notice. If you can do something to build your life for the future, that would be a better decision. On the 6th, there is a connection between Pluto, which starts to trine your midheaven, Mars, and Jupiter, which are all in your 5th house. And again, the work that you've done in terms of you building your personal relationships and improving that really pays off. And I really think that a new person comes into your life, or a relationship that has seemed to run its course comes back to life, and someone surprises you with what they offer. And you start to think of them as having a future in your life, even if you've written them off before. On the 7th of October, the moon starts to trine Uranus. And this is about building your sense of family connection and really wanting people to appreciate you for what you've done for them. Okay, so Taurus, a little bit full of yourself on the 7th, and you really want people to say your name and to applaud you and to really recognize your achievements and to say, well done, pat on the back, thank you for being amazing. If you don't get that, just be aware that you might be disappointed. You don't always get that unless you've done something really wonderful. So just make sure that your expectation and the reality is reasonable and realistic. Now, Venus, your ruler, it moves from Leo into Virgo on the 9th of October. And this is usually not that great, but Venus is your ruler, and Venus going into an earth sign is really positive for you. You're going to feel very much at ease within yourself, and the relationship side of things is really, really picking up for you now. And I think the 9th is a culmination point in terms of having fun with a new person or with the existing partner, really being on the same wavelength now, and really being able to enjoy like a day out or a good conversation, having a laugh, having a nice meal, whatever. A really good connection with another person. And the people who are in your life and who you're spending time with now, expect them to stick around, because the relationships that you build at this time are going to continue in your life for the foreseeable future. Mercury comes out of retrograde on the 9th as well. Hooray, thank goodness. Mercury is the planet of communication. When it's in retrograde, you have to work a little bit harder. If you want to get any more information on that, watch my video that I did on that. Mercury in retrograde happens a couple of times a year. Expect things to get easier as of the 9th of October now onwards. And on the 10th, Venus starts to sesqui square Neptune. And Venus is love, and Neptune is love for humanity. That stays in a connection for you between the 10th and the 14th of October. So not only are you going to love this one person who you've really got close to over the last couple of days, but you're going to have a real sense of altruism and love for people in general. So you'll want to do some charity work or really give someone money just because you can. There's going to be a real sense of, I want to share my love. That's beautiful. You know, when that feeling overtakes you, you can really do a lot of good. And it can be as simple as going to the supermarket and just smiling at someone because you just feel happy and you feel love for that person. A smile can really change someone's day completely. Yeah, I even experienced this. I went to, where was I? I was at the stationery shop the other day and I was really focused on getting a new diary and I was like, okay, this isn't quite right. I was really into it and I think I must have had a big frown on my face. But this girl, she just smiled at me and I was just like, that's so nice. It just lifted the whole mood. It just made my day. It's really, and that, I bet she didn't have any idea of how much I appreciated that. It's really a great thing that you can do for someone. On the 11th, there's a T-square between the Sun and Uranus, which culminates in your Pluto, which is in your 9th house, okay? So your service that you've done for other people, the focus that you've got on other people will give you a new work idea. And I really feel that you're going to be educating yourself and you're going to go in a completely different direction, Taurus. I think you're going to say, hang on a minute, I've been focusing on the wrong thing. I've been worrying about the wrong thing. I want to be doing this. And I really feel there's a sense of change big time around this month and the 11th of October in particular. On the 13th, the new moon occurs. The new moon is always a period when you channel your energy into a fresh start. This happens in Libra, right on top of your descendant. And the question is, what do I want to apply myself to? My focus has been a little bit off lately. What's the focus going to be for the next month, for the next couple of weeks? What really do I want to do? And I think it's going to involve you building your skills and doing something that helps you grow spiritually and then in turn helps humanity. So for example, I'm going to meditate and I'm going to do that by doing service at an ashram. I'm going to live there and cooking for the ashram. They'll put me up and I'll meditate and they'll help me and I'll help them. Bam. Done and dusted. Between the 16th of August and the 13th of October, there's also been an opposition between Jupiter and Neptune, both very big influences, very, very big forces, and that could have made you feel, well, it did make you feel very, very altruistic. That actually comes to an end, okay? So that feeling of just give it all away free and I love you so much and peace and flowers and all of that stuff starts to come off a little bit and you start to feel a little bit more dry, practical, grounded, focused on the real. On the 17th, the moon starts to trine Uranus and this is interesting because the moon there in your 8th house is very much about you try and get someone else on board now with your new vision. I think you're trying to, if you're planning a trip or if you're trying to do something differently, like you could be planning a trip to India or something, or you could be setting up like a club in your local town, something that's become crystallized in your mind. You now start to do that, but you're going to try and get other people involved or to make it really official. So if you want to go to Israel on a pilgrimage, you're going to start getting other people involved to go with you. So again, the thing about astrology is that these are influences that are kind of shining down from you from the skies, okay? And you have free will within all of that, but on the other hand, you're going to be influenced by it. So whatever you're planning is going to not be some isolated solo venture. Because of the way things are around the 17th, other people are going to be involved. So if you want to do something top secret just for yourself, then don't plan it around the 17th. If you want to do something that's gregarious and outgoing and social and has other people involved, then it's a good time to do that. On the 18th, the moon starts to square all of that stuff going on in your 5th house, and you may want to get your romantic partner involved, particularly in whatever it is you're doing. Don't let that disappoint you if they don't want to. Be open and flexible enough to still leave other people their own choices, even though you would very, very much like them to do something. So, whenever we want something from other people, whenever we have a desire, we set ourselves up to be disappointed if we don't get that desire. And that's the 18th, so just be aware of that. On the 19th and 20th, the moon and Pluto start to square Jupiter, which again is in your 5th. So the biggest area of activity in your chart in October, Taurus, is this 5th house of romance and relationship and fun and children. And that's really good. So I'd like you to really tap into that mode and treat October as your month to love and to have fun and to enjoy things and to discover new things. To get people to come along with you. If they want to fab, great. If not, those relationships won't have the opportunity to grow. But the people who do actually join you this month, you will grow along with, and you'll have a great kind of time with them. Jupiter is good luck and good fortune as well, so you will be kind of charming. People will want to do things with you, especially in a practical way. If you want to set something up, or if you want to go on a trip, October is a great time to do it. I mean, I don't think traditionally it's the best time to go on holiday. I don't know. It's the end of autumn in the northern hemisphere. I guess it's just the beginning of... Is it summer? No, end of spring. Yeah, end of spring in the southern hemisphere. So I guess, yeah, that'd be nice. You could go somewhere in the southern hemisphere. It'd be just before it gets really hot. Anyway, I'm not a travel guide. A travel advice. I don't know why I went into that, but it's a good time to do something. That's what my point is. Anyway, okay. On the 23rd, Neptune starts to trine the Sun, and it does that until the 6th of November. When Neptune trines the Sun, when it connects with the Sun in any way, you become really, really psychic. So between these 2 weeks, your intuition skyrockets and you really start to get a lot more messages coming through. On the 25th, the Moon begins to trine the Ascendant, and you really feel very much like yourself, and you also feel, again, the desire to progress spiritually and to learn new things. You're like a sponge, you're very, very curious this month, and you'd like to have a lot of things go on and to experience lots of new things. That's really the theme here. You want to have new things. So please, in October, don't just sit at home and close the curtains. You're going to feel frustrated. You need to get out there and do stuff. The full moon happens in your sign of Taurus on the 27th, and it's right on top of your rising sign. So you really, all of this stuff that you've been doing this month, it's really going to blossom and culminate in you feeling very much happy with yourself, where you are in your life, what you're doing with your life. You're going to feel a sense of purpose, completion. The new moon was in Libra. The full moon is in Taurus. Both of those are ruled by Venus, your ruler. So you're going to have a very, very happy, positive month. This month is going to feel like it's yours. You know, some months you're just like, what the hell is going on here? Like, everyone's been rude to me, no one understood me, the deliveries haven't arrived, you know, what's going on? This month, things are going to mesh. People are going to be on your wavelength. The experiences that you have are going to be in line with what you want to experience. It's a great, great month for you. Things are in your sign. There's a grand trine in Earth on the 28th, again, your element. That's between the Moon, Jupiter, and Venus, and Pluto. And this is a really fun day when someone in your life who you care about and who loves you and who you love engages with you, and because of that you can make changes because they lift your vibration, they lift your energy, and something that possibly, potentially could be very difficult comes very easily, and you just make the changes just like that. So watch out for people influencing you in a nice positive way around the 28th. And then on Halloween, the 31st of October, there's a grand trine in water. Now I already mentioned that for the 2 weeks between the 3rd of October to the 6th of November, you're going to feel very psychic. The veil thins, this world, and the other side, it gets thinner. I know Halloween is a joke with the kids and trick-or-treats and things, but traditionally, in the Northern Hemisphere, it's when things get darker, and there's a real shift in the energy from the summer, from being outdoors, from experiencing things in the external world, to moving into the winter time and becoming more reflective and finding your way in the darkness. And Halloween is a real turning point of those two energies, so things are more accessible on a spiritual level, but also because of this grand trine in water, it's going to be especially strong. Lots of people will have paranormal types of experiences. If you're interested in ghost hunting or stuff like that, go this Halloween, you'll actually notice something. You'll get messages, you'll see apparitions. It's going to be a huge Halloween, it's going to be an awesome one. And that's it for the month. I hope you found that useful. If you'd like a private reading with me to clarify any of these things, or to let you know how these things affect you specifically, what your purpose is, how you can improve your psychic ability, any of that stuff, get in touch for a private reading. Go to gregoryscott.com, click on the readings tab to see the types of readings that I offer. And please remember to subscribe to the channel as well, so these videos actually show up. Have a fantastic October, and I'll speak to you soon.